Hello, hello. It looks a bit weird, this new phone. It's a lot more zoomed in, and to see myself like this is a bit weird. Sorry, my sleep, as you can tell, my speech is a bit slurred. I think that's from the physical pain or exhaustion, I'm not entirely sure. But let's say a minor miracle has happened, and I'm in a place where there is no oxygen to find the solution to. You need oxygen to think, and all there are brick walls. But I thought I'd make a live stream to see where I go with what's taken place just now. And yeah, first things first, I need to make a coffee. Sorry, it's going to take me a second to get up, as it's my body I'm suffering with, and I can begin the story. It's going to be a little darker in the kitchen, and but we shouldn't be there for long. You're going to have to bear with me as well. Speed of words, I'm very disorientated. As you can see, well, you can see a silhouette. And we've got the lights on wired in the kitchen at the moment, so best I can do. I think the best place to start is with the last few days. Just give a quick recap. I've been stuck in my current location now for quite a few months. Should have been a 2-week stay, but this series of unfortunate events has got me stuck here. I've tried my best. I don't want to stay a second over what I'm permitted to stay and give myself any problems. I'm just going to rest my phone so you can not look at me like this, and I'll pick it up in a second when the kettle is going. Just so you can see. Let's see if I can find an angle where you can see some light. There you go, that's our front door. But as life, and I'm just going to be doing a coffee grinder, as life became clearer and clearer to me, I realised more and more what that really meant. And what it really meant was a denial for many years. To a lot of trauma and pain that I wasn't able to admit to myself. And I realised at least a lot, not all of it, I know not all of it, of the physical pain symptoms I have been having are due to the denial, psychosomatic disease, where we're not able to deal with something on a psychological level. We create disease. I've got a whole dictionary. Let's see if I can see it. A lady has spent a great deal of time, sorry, you see my teeth, they're absolutely filthy, the toothpaste is just there. Spent a lot of time documenting each individual disease and its psychosomatic characteristics, and surprise, surprise, they're a lot of, well, it's a big book, and apparently disease isn't too dissimilar from person to person. She's able to document those similarities. And I believe that's what I've been suffering with on the whole, mostly. And also my mental health disorder comes under that bracket. As I realised I had this suppression of trauma, what took place was a freeing up of energy, and all of those physical health problems became secondary and not really the main problem in my life. And I was battling with that around, well, for the past few months, but past week or two, more specifically, and was spending a lot of time in bed. My body was going through a cleansing process as all the denial became truth. And at the same time, I started being bothered by a group of young youth. I did nothing to them, but obviously they saw my boat, and this world doesn't give anybody a chance, anybody. And they started pestering me, let's just leave it at that. And on the third occasion, it was made aware that the situation was too serious. But in truth, sorry, just one of the local birds, a goose. But in truth, even that was too serious for, no, sorry, not serious enough for what I was dealing with in terms of my mind and life. And it wasn't a concern for me, but where I was still having my mental health come in and out, when it came in, it tried to make that a problem. And it was just not a workable situation. And on the third occasion, they broke my front door, so it wasn't locked. I didn't really want to be there at night with visitors coming in. I needed to be able to focus on my main problem. So I decided to surmount an amount of energy I really didn't have to trying to get going. And surprise, surprise, I was able to do it. I was able to find energy I didn't have, and it's going to be I imagine it's going to be a detriment to my life. But because life presented a situation that said, you've got this problem, what are you going to do? I ran on adrenaline. And in that place, I managed to find a solution. But I've only got round to the other side of the same area, maybe a 1.5, 2 mile stretch. So I'm still in the same proximity before I broke down again. And that was Saturday night. Now hopefully the kind passerby, another boater, saw me and pulled me over, and then I had to drag it over about 3 or 4 of the Canal and River Trust's boats, their work boats. That wasn't a problem. but it just took a lot of time over after you'd argue a very stressful few days, few weeks, few years. But there was a realization, and we'll go into the light in a second. The coffee is pretty much done. There was a realization I had for the first time in my life in that place. I've been in that place so many times, but this time it was different. The place is very isolated to the world, very alone, very in trouble, very much in need of help, and in panic. And in that place I'm running on adrenaline normally. On this occasion, when it started to get hard and difficult, when the boat broke down and I had to drag my boat over other boats and navigate two ropes from the front and the back, and it was quite a challenge and quite an ask for anybody, let alone the state I was in. But I realised what I'm suppressing in terms of my past is so much. There is no hope to ever get beyond it. In other words, at the moment, from what I can see of the world and life, but realistically there's no hope in overcoming that, and it's more a case of learning to accept. And in that place, that's where I've been for the past few weeks. I've realised that no matter what I do, it's almost running away from that pain. Because it's so much, so claustrophobic. Anything I choose to do in life as a want, as a desire, to a certain extent, is going to be almost like because I need to medicate myself from how bad it feels. I have no real desires anymore. I'm 37 now, spiritual, worked on ego and desire my whole life, well, since I was 20. And that's where I'm at. There's no real thing in this world that will take away that pain inside of me. That's what I mean to say. There's no food, no sum of money, no amount of sex, no amount of pseudo-love. Possibly the last one will be the most effective, but it wouldn't fill the void, the gap. But I realised I was in the same area when I woke up, what I thought was this morning. on the other side of the same area, and that's not good. I need to be away so I can sleep. But I woke up in a place where I was dealing with all of these problems, and they're not being fixed. Sorry, coming back to that realization I had the other night. It was a case of when things got hard, I normally push myself on adrenaline, but I realized through my recent realizations that because it's so much, I claim that I shouldn't be alive, but yet I am. And I have had 13 years of programming nonetheless through this denial process of a very severe mental health disorder, and that's reshaped my perception of the world. Whatever happens, it's like taking LSD for such a long time. Even if it's really, really small doses, it's gonna reshape your perception of the world. And that's kind of what's happened. My consciousness isn't able to stay as it was before, as I understood it. So my emotions, my senses, they're never quite accurate. My thoughts, my feelings. And when I was going to run on adrenaline is because of the panic to the situation. But in truth, I realised no matter how bad this situation is right now in the present moment, the truth, because it was all a lie what I was experiencing, the truth is just unbelievable pain to trauma. And I'd prefer to be there. I'd prefer to be with the truth, but I'm not quite sure I can in entirety. So what I realised was when things were so bad and I was going to panic, it was a case of, well, what can I do? This is bad. It's never going to get any better. What's going to happen that's going to make this better? Somebody is going to pass by, the engine's going to magically start working again, and I'll be able to go to my final destination and everything will be perfect. And in that perfectness, I'll go there and rest in my bed and realise the truth of my unbearable trauma. And in that moment, I looked at what I was doing. Really, really simple, really, really present. I looked and it was like, well, one, it's like an adventure. I don't do this every day. I really enjoyed being slow with the boat, because where the waters were still, you only need a little bit of energy and it can move like the boat quite a bit, and I'm really good at that, being able to see how the boat's moving in still water when I'm present. Pushing a little bit here, pushing a little bit there, pulling here, pulling there. or at least I was that night. And it was a real level of focus, a real level of work. It was like the displacement of the weight of the boat in the water and getting it to move over the boats, and I had to go over a small bridge and over a couple trees. And it was like I had to think each time, what am I going to do? This is a challenge. The final tree was